Hello and welcome back to Keldeo60 Plays. Today we are starting another adventure in the Metroid series, especially after the hype I have received from the announcement of Metroid Dread back on the previous Tuesday of E3 2021 for Nintendo's Direct. But today we are going into the least applicable game. I just had this. Oh wait. I forget. I was thinking the menu needed the motion controls again, and it's like no. In fact, most of this game is played without the IR bar, with very few exceptions. Time for the most somewhat story-driven entry in the Metroid series, and one that did not receive a very good localization here in America, and also a not really cared for story to begin with. Other M is essentially a side story that is set to take place in between Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion. As you no doubt can tell, obviously, with this cutscene that we just saw Tuesday, actually, in here on this channel, actually, in 2D sprites. And man, do they overhype this scene like nothing else here. And yes, this is the model of Samus that is currently in Smash. Shoulder has been damaged and is now back to full health. Oh, there went the baby Metroid. We'll never have to deal with the repercussions of this scene ever again. Well, you'd think so. But I mean, this is Wii era, and this CGI is definitely not something I'd first think of when I think Wii.
Time to go.
And the Hyper Beam. Obviously not rainbow colored for the lack of seizures. In the 3D, already heavily litted 3D environment.
Okay, Samus. Everything's normal.
Everything is normal. Quarantine officer.
Let's try sitting up, huh? Slowly now.
So at least this beginning portion of the game that we're about to go through is literally set maybe like a day or so after the events of Super Metroid, I'd think.
And the explosion that followed destroyed planet Zebes,
And
along with the remains of Mother Brain. The space pirates,
another thing that plagues this game is the voice direction, or what people mostly think, the lack thereof.
Come on, Samus. Let's go next door.
Right, let's get started.
Though the suiting up sequence is definitely the best part.
Ready for a quick test, Samus? Let's start with a little warm-up. Try a charge beam for me.
And at this point in Metroid, this is a weird thing actually. If in the tutorial, you technically have every power-up
Just the way I like it.
at the
Okay, more fun.
any ability you had at the end
Drop some bombs.
of
Okay.
not Zero Mission, Super Metroid, you technically have here.
Perfect, Samus.
They're just not fully active. Now this is weird. How in the world are you just
Surprised?
hiding just a pit
There.
in the middle of the
Keep
room?
going to work your way up.
Okay. Okay.
Stop wasting time, will ya?
Okay, don't move the D-pad here. Okay, that's weird.
Let's invite some of your
My instincts is, Oh, hello, Zoomer. How are you here?
Okay, looking good. Let's check your reaction time. Here come some beams. Dodge them. Okay, those are the moves I remember. Nice. Remember how that
Okay. And there's the unique move for this game. You get a quick dodging lesson.
concentration to replenish your missiles.
Okay. So another thing, we will not be getting normal pickups, so this might not be the good. And actually, this game is actually way better.
With a missile.
And now, there we go. Huh. I assume this is just battle log data that the Galactic Federation has for this type of enemy, because this is just a basic space pirate. One we technically...
Okay, looking good.
There we go. Ow. I took a hit. Oh.
Now, jump on its head.
There we go. And now, like Link, Samus has a finishing move, which is nice, but you will rarely see it.
How about you try using a power
Okay, and Morph Ball. A change to the Power Bomb.
Don't hold back.
The Power Bomb might as well be a Charge Bomb. Rather than the 5 missile drop, you just lay waste to everything here.
Room around you during power bomb.
At max charge.
All right,
During
that's it.
room, make sure you have enough room where there's no one there to not lay waste to them with a Power Bomb. Because essentially this, as I said, comes after Super Metroid, so this is her first experience with the Power Bomb, technically.
Right, you're due in the meeting room.
Right, you're due in the meeting room.
The big dogs are waiting.
Big so waiting.
Gave your suit a polish so you'd be at least somewhat presentable.
A suit of polish.
Not even a fragment.
That doesn't sound nice.
Really remained on me.
So,
I knew it to be true, but still
That
couldn't
doesn't-
help looking at my palm for a sign.
something
Never
tells
again
me
will
that
I encounter the baby.
that line there is gonna have repercussions. And look, Samus has to also go through
Now the
quarantine
others
just
struck me once again.
after every mission. It's probably like a quarantine of like 24 hours. That's why I'm like it's only maybe a day, maybe two, depending on how long it takes her to travel back to Galactic Federation reports. Now, trust me, I will talk about that scene when we get to it, though. We're not going to bring it up now, because everyone probably knows exactly which scene I'm referring to when I bring this sentence up, but that will be for a later date, because we won't be needing it anytime soon.
Codename Baby's Cry. A common SOS
Rescue
with the
signal.
urgency of a baby crying. The nickname comes from the fact that the purpose of the signal is to draw attention. The signal was coming from a remote part of space. I altered the course of my ship as if this detour had already been part of my flight plan. Baby's Cry. It was as though it was crying specifically for me.
With how long do I think this is after Super Metroid and the actual base game? I think she had just left Galactic Federation planet. The GF planet. Sometime in the more recent events after Super Metroid. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever actually looked up the time frame between this and the aforementioned Super Metroid. Thing. That is also not the right thing. There we go. Now, here is where we start seeing maybe some of the Wii's shortcomings with this tape. Okay. Now we have some... This game also has some weird point-and-click things when it comes to the first-person stuff. Galactic Federation ship. And now the other issue when it comes to gameplay. This is a 3D game. But as you may know, this is... From when I started the video... This is played with just the Wii remote on its side, meaning we are back in 1997 with a D-pad in a 3D environment. Actually, the D-pad here, while it could be better, is definitely better than some other 3D games that I've played with D-pads. Which says something if I'm used to it. We do hear a lot of explosions coming up in the next room. Let's move.
Fancy meeting you here, princess.
Remember me?
Anthony. There's only one person who calls me princess.
There's only one person who calls me princess. Oh God.
Of the Galactic Federation Army.
Well, this is apparently also going into more of Samus's backstory from beforehand. Essentially, before Samus became a bounty hunter, she was a part of the actual normal forces of the Galactic Federation Army, and was originally part of Platoon 7, which is the commanding officer, which is Adam, as well as Anthony Higgins, which is the fellow soldier that calls Samus Princess.
What are you doing here?
The first words out of his mouth were typical.
What are you doing here?
To answer his question, I recounted the details of what had brought me to this place, and then I asked what circumstances led the Federation here.
That information is not for an outsider.
That information is not for an outsider.
The word he so obviously chose. Outsider.
Which is fair. Samus is no longer a part of the platoon, so that's fair. That is technically a fair choice.
Commander, we're all prepped.
Man, when you have to try and protect Samus from bombs getting detonated. That, and specifically C4.
I think our only option is
Use the laser to slowly burn our way through. That is a not. That's gonna take way too while.
and we can't get the barrier wall.
The barrier wall to open.
We tried using explosives.
Tried using explosives, but it's tricky to pull off without collateral damage. Oh, this is so not hinting that you must use a missile. Your own missile, which is way more powerful. Lock on.
Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna go on ahead.
On ahead. And with this small interaction, Samus is probably like, if I'm gonna be here, I'm probably gonna have to be under Adam's,
But I decided to remain on site for the sake of the others.
well, Adam hadn't said anything about her being a part of the mission, so she decides not to. Well, Adam does not authorize her being here. She will technically work under his command, which I say is fair. Here's my issue with, which is the major issue most people have. One, why doesn't Samus use any of the her actual equipment during this moment in time that would not be life-threatening to anybody else and would be helpful? Well, that would also be a programming issue. Let's be honest. But you can still technically use the charge beam in first person, so that's not nothing. And especially when it comes to 2D combat, though, this game is still really good with its combat system. So I'm not too angry with its with gameplay and especially 2D corridors. And we also see her rocking some of her, especially post-fusion, but technically zero mission type stuff, so like the power grip. She can hang on to some ledges. Why are there shriek bats here? Something does not bode well. Oh, I see scarabs, an enemy type from Zero Mission. Okay. I remember correctly. I probably can't do this until later. But one of these, one of the bathrooms does actually hold a power-up. An extra expansion. I forget which one it is. I can't go this way. Or maybe I can. But I'm thinking there's some rooms that are literally copy-pasted everywhere. Yep. That never goes well. Must mean I have to clear out some enemies. I see an item up here. Can I get to it? But I also think this is a way of Samus trying to at least gain some trust with Adam, because technically she's not been authorized to be here. So she will resort to technically working under his command until otherwise... technically duly noted otherwise. Which, I mean, is at least... she's at least trying to maintain trust. And if you're wondering if Av's name here is a reference in Fusion, towards Fusion, yes. This is the former CO she was referring to in Fusion. Which, is always a good thing. Build some lore. Okay. And here is a save room. And slash combined with the navigation rooms of Fusion, which is always good. But along that, I think the issue with a lot of this game that you're going to notice is the fact that Metroid was definitely more one of those series that focused way too much on world building and never gave enough lore to that world building, especially when it came to Samus. And that's where a lot of discrepancies come up between here and say something like the Prime series, which, if you know anything about that kind of thing, we'll get a little more in depth next time on Tuesday, because we're out of time for today. But let's just say that story is a little different because of views regarding Prime in the eyes of one of the co-developers of Metroid, Sakamoto-san. So we'll talk about that next time. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have a fantastic time watching. I hope this game is at least like saying, hey, why would someone dare try playing this? I mean, that is a fair option to question my sanity for, so I'm not going to question it. Well, anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time for more Metroid Other M. This is Cody60 signing off. Take care.